Hey everybody, this is Chris with Overclockers Club. I've got something sort of different here today. This is a tablet from Dragon Touch. It's the Max10, so let's get out of the box, see what it looks like. Alright, so we got it out of the box. It comes with a charger here, a little USB charger, USB charging cable, and of course a nice user manual. You want to make sure you sort of go through there and check out all the different functions. But the tablet itself is a 10.1 inch screen. The resolution is 1200 by 1920, and it comes with this plastic protective cover. Now it has instructions on how to get started and the basic functionality, how to tap and select things, and then it reminds you to activate your warranty. So we'll peel this off first, set that off to the side. Now it should come with a charge already on it, but if it doesn't, I might have to charge it up sort of off to the side here. So we'll peel those two protective stickers off, and let's see if I can hold the power button. Okay, it sort of vibrated there. It had a little buzz to it. Looks like it's powering right up. And it does say give it a couple minutes on that initial startup. But I would say it does have a significant charge for it to fire up that quickly. And no error messages or anything telling me that it doesn't have enough juice. Okay, so there it is. That came up fairly quickly. Start. Alright, so this is where I'll select the Wi-Fi. And it is dual band also. It's 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So I put in my Wi-Fi password after I selected the network, and it is checking for updates. So that might take a moment or two. I don't know if it's doing firmware updates or just operating system updates, but it did power up pretty quickly. Alright, so I've been using this off and on for a couple weeks, and really I let my wife use it. She could really give it a real-world test, so I'll give you her feedback here in a moment. But one thing I do want to point out, this little piece of plastic right here, and I didn't catch it at first. It's hard to see. Anyway, this little piece of plastic here, you need to make sure you take it off of the back side here. That's what goes over the lens for your camera. And it's hard to see. You don't realize it's there, but the pictures look a little fuzzy at first, and then I realized that piece of plastic up there was still stuck over that. So anyway, you want to make sure you remove that. So anyway, her feedback was she had no problems accessing things. It's really fast. The Octa-Core Processor, you just fly right through everything. All the apps. You can pop into YouTube here. It comes up very quickly. You can watch anything.
We all have our signature ways to serve up fresh.
The dual speakers are very nice. The sound quality is not bad. Again, it's a tablet, so the speakers are very small, so there are limitations, but for what you get on a tablet this size, there's a little Elvis there. But I would say the sound quality is pretty good. The image quality is very nice. And let's back out of here. Again, accessing all of the apps on here, it works real well. The Gmail, all of your mail comes up. You can check out Facebook, do some Google searching. It's really very fast. Accessing your Wi-Fi, again, you've got dual band, you've got 5 gigahertz and the 2.4. Here's a little SD card. Now on the back, I want to be very careful here. I'm going to set it on top of that. So on the back here, there's actually this little removable panel. Just pops out of there. There we go. So this little guy, a little tricky to get off there, but you don't want it loose to where it falls off all the time either. And then you pop your little SD card in there. If I can find the right place. And there you go. Sort of halfway pops in there. It doesn't have the detent like a lot of devices do where it clicks in and then clicks out. It just sort of slides in and locks. And then we pop this little cover back on. There we go. And then we should be able to check out the storage. And to do that, you just come over here, hit the settings. Let's see, storage right there. And you can see I just put the SD card in, so it's not going to have anything on it. But that's how easy it is to access that. Now, something that's important with tablets, and this hasn't been on the charger here really all day, but I haven't really used it much today, other than this morning. I think my wife used it a little bit. Anyway, we noticed the battery seems to be just fine. She can use it all day long and then into the evening and maybe drain the battery about half, a little more. It depends on if you're watching videos on YouTube. It really depends on what you're doing with the tablet, but we didn't notice anything unusual with the battery. Of course, on a brand new device, your battery should be at the top of the performance. The key is when these things are 6 months, a year, 2 years old. Of course, your battery won't be quite as robust as it was when it was new, but again, I think the battery life so far that we've seen has been good. Another thing that I want to point out, I'm always a little nervous when I handle these type of devices, cell phones, especially if they don't have any protective cover on them. And these things are so thin, and I'm just always worried they're going to slip out of my hands, but it has this nice textured section on either side here. It's kind of got some little, if I can zoom in there, it's got some little raised dots, I guess, for like traction. And it sort of gives you a frame of reference when you're holding it in your hand. I mean, all tablets are pretty much this way to some degree, but it's too bad it doesn't have a couple handles off to the side. I just always feel like I'm going to drop them. But I haven't so far, so that's a good thing. Alright, so now I'll put the spec sheet up so you can sort of see the specs while I'm talking. Again, really the real world test is what I let my wife do. She used it for a couple of weeks and she had no issues with it. She was happy with the speed, connectivity. She was able to do everything she wanted to do. No problems at all. For me, when I'm looking for a device like this, a tablet, I remember the tablets in the old days, especially the less expensive ones. You could click on an app and you could pretty much go make a sandwich, come back, and your app would be just starting to load. Very slow, and unless you paid a lot of money for a tablet, you just didn't get much. But this one here, this is really nice. The speed with the Octa-Core processor, the ability to add the extra storage on an SD card, the Wi-Fi connectivity, all of those things are just great with it. The cameras aren't too bad. Image quality, it's okay for a tablet. Most people probably aren't going to be running around snapping a lot of pictures with their tablet, but if you do need a camera, out of convenience, it is there. So again, overall, I'm very happy with it. And one of the cool things I really like about a good tablet here is I can load all of my security camera apps, and there's the Logitech Circle. So that camera's behind me, so I can turn around and wave. And then I have some of my other cameras on here. So for example, there's some of my Reolink cameras. So there's a live view right now. So I can see what's going on outside. Let's see if I can bring up some of my other cameras here. So here's another view, a live view right there, so I can quickly and easily access all my cameras. I really like that. And a look at the tablet here. Of course, there's a little reset hole there, reset button. You can push like a paper clip through there to reset it if you need to. Your volume buttons right there for up and down. There's your power button. Over here is a jack for headphone. And let's see what else. The speakers. 2 speakers right there. There's one, there's the other. And on this side, not much going on there. And across the bottom, really not much going on there other than there's your charging port. And then this is the access panel again for your SD card. Now here's an image I took earlier today, a photo, so you can get an idea of the image quality. The resolution on the screen is really nice, so depending upon the quality of the picture you're looking at. And there's a picture from last night there, it was getting a little dark. There's an inside picture. But the cameras, like I said earlier, are not too bad. There are actually two cameras. There's one here that's facing you, and then there's one on the back here, of course, and then there's a little LED flash or the light. And I looked around, I couldn't find the megapixel specs for these cameras, so I'm not sure what they are, but you know, usually, like I said earlier, when you're buying a tablet, you're not really basing it off of the camera. The camera is just sort of an additional feature that's nice to have. Alright, pricing, the way this one is configured. This is the 3 GB memory model. There is a 2 GB memory model, but this is the 3, and it has 32 GB of onboard storage, and the ability up here behind that little panel to add an SD card with even more storage, up to 128 GB of additional storage. But this right now retails for $159.99, and I think that's a pretty decent price for what you get. So again, $159 for a nice little Android tablet here. Resolution on the screen is really nice. I would give this the Overclockers Club Editor's Choice Award. This is Chris with Overclockers Club. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.